Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 26th August 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. To access all the training lessons at our channel homepage, click on the tab posts. Then you get access to this post. Some of you might be seeing community tab. In that case, click on the tab. Then also you get the same post. Once you get the post, here you are having a YouTube playlist link. You just click on the link that is having all the training lessons. So here you have all the training lessons. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions. I provided all my training instructions at our Telegram channel. You can find the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. So go to the video description. Please join at our Telegram channel. Once you join, in the old or previous messages or even in the pinned messages, you can find all the training instructions. If you can learn this course according to my training instructions, then it will be helpful to you to become a very good independent trader. So please make use of this opportunity. Now I am generating different supply demand zone reports generated with the help of NeoStock Software's Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Analysis Strategy Builder. Okay, first I am going to generate finding the stocks near daily and 75 minutes demand and supply zones. So from those reports we can identify high liquidity zones, and using those high liquidity zones we can apply the high liquidity zone strategy that you learned in lesson 21.3 video. And a few instructions. I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. So I request you pause the video, study those reports and then move on to the next reports. Those who don't understand structure of the reports, you please complete the training lesson 21.1 video. Okay, now starting with the daily time frame, stocks near to the daily demand zone. We got 14 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Bank of India is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Next, National Aluminium is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Next, PPL Pharma is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Next, Tata Chemicals is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. So total 4 daily high liquidity demand zones we identified from this list. Okay, next, for daily time frame, stocks near to the daily supply zone, we got 8 stocks. Let us identify daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Nika is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We got only one daily high liquidity supply zone from this list. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. HFCL is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Hindustan Zinc is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. It is also having 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. In that case, you may get trade opportunities on either side. That's it. We got 2 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay, next for 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minutes supply zone, we got 9 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. No, we don't have any 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. So this is about daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zone identification. For the high liquidity zone strategy, you learned in lesson 21.3 video. Okay, next I will generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports. Starting with NIFTY, generating monthly supply demand zone chain. So this is NIFTY monthly supply demand zone chain report. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. You already learned one time frame higher is ITF and one more time frame higher is HTF. So please remember these points for all the supply demand zone chain reports. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. Okay, next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. We have all the supply zones in this space. So I am scrolling the list down. The nearest demand zone to the current closing price is serial number 33. It is a pierced 5 minutes demand zone. So let me adjust in the middle of the page so that you can get almost equal number of demand and supply zones. So this is 5 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So I have completed NIFTY supply demand zone chain report generation. Next, I will generate BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain report. I am changing the name to NIFTY Bank. That is nothing but BANKNIFTY. And generating monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. The nearest demand zone to the current closing price is serial number 23. I'm keeping this in the middle of the page. So we have completed Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain generation. So we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty. Next, I will generate different income trades. That is monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades for sideways trade setup, bullish trade setup and bearish trade setup. Okay, starting with monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup, entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways at entry time frame daily. I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhanced score should be 11 for sideways. And third filter, pierced count, zone pierced. I am not eliminating pierced zones for daily time frame, entry time frame, because you can use any pierced zones for your pierced zone strategy that you learned in lesson 28. Next time frame, that means weekly income trade, I will filter the pierced zones. Okay, now let me filter. You got 6 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for monthly income trade, and entry time frame zones are daily demand zone. So this is a pierced zone. So you can't use it directly for sideways long trade setup, but you can use this zone for pierced zone strategy if applicable. Even the same next one also pierced zone. So out of 6, 4 are supporting sideways long trade setup. Remaining true, you can analyze for your pierced zone strategy if any order flows are available or maybe traps are available. Okay, next sideways short trade setup. Daily supply zone and here sideways short. We don't have any stocks. Next, bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame and zones are daily demand zone and here bullish, and minimum odd enhanced score should be 12. Let's filter. Total we got 21 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. First 17 stocks in the list, and all the entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. The first 17 daily demand zones here. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. Total 21 stocks we got. Out of these 21 daily demand zones, entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. So out of these 21 daily demand zones, there could be some high probability trade setup daily demand zones might be available. We need to filter them based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lesson 27. So the first strategy, LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, and thereafter we will further filter with ITF EMA confluence. LTF is daily and ITF is weekly. So let us apply daily and weekly demand zone confluence filter on these 21 stocks. So I am going back, adding one more filter, demand zone confluence. So in this demand zone confluence filter, I am adding the filter. I am enabling the filter daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Now I enable the filter. Applying on the 21 stocks, we got 15 stocks. In all these 15 stocks, daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. All these are all daily demand zones. Leg in, base candle count, leg out. So these are all daily demand zone statistics. Okay. In all these 15 daily demand zones, they are overlapped with weekly demand zone and also weekly trend. ITF trend is uptrend. So let's further filter based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. In that case, the overlapped daily demand zone inside weekly is having more strong institutional order flows. So I am going back, adding EMA filter. That is a weekly demand zone having weekly EMA, because weekly trend is uptrend in all the stocks. Now the list is come down to 10 stocks. So these 10 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. That is very, very important. Okay, next filter is LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence and then HTF EMA confluence. So let us generate the reports. I am removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. First one is already enabled, daily and weekly. Next, daily and monthly, and then weekly and monthly demand zone confluence with all the 3 filters. Now we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is up in first 4 stocks. 5th one is sideways. So eliminate the 5th one. In remaining 4 stocks, if any monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, then the overlapped daily demand zone inside the monthly might be having more high probability to get success. So let's verify. So I'm going back, adding EMA filter on monthly time frame by selecting monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. Because there is one stock sideways trend on monthly, we don't want that stock. So in the trend at monthly time frame, I am selecting uptrend, but not sideways, because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. So we got 2 stocks. So that way these 2 daily demand zones are having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone supply zone, bullish or bearish. At daily, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhances score 12. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Out of these 3 daily, let us find the high probability trade setup zones based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies. So first filter is 75 minutes, daily and weekly supply zone confluence, because it is bearish trade setup. So we got all 3 stocks. That means in all the 3 stocks, daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is a downtrend in all the stocks, ITF trend. Let's further filter based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. One stock is filtered. That way, this daily supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of this zone violation. Okay, next, LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters I have to add. First one, daily and weekly, already enabled. Next, daily and monthly, I am enabling. weekly and monthly also enabled with all the three filters. We got again all three stocks. So that means these daily supply zones overlapped with weekly supply zone, both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways. HTF trend is sideways in all stocks. Sideways trend EMA Confluence does not give any advantage. So this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, let us generate weekly income trade reports. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. Here bullish, bearish, sideways at 75 minutes, sideways long, zone achievement VOZ, minimum order hands score 11, and 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count is 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced on 75 minutes demand zone. So we got two stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. Next, sideways short trade setup for weekly income trade, 75 minutes supply zone, and here sideways short. We got three stocks. Entry time frame zones are 75 minutes supply zones. Next, bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, 75 minutes demand zone, here bullish, and minimum order hands score 12. Let's filter. We got 13 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. So total we got 13 stocks. Out of these 13 75 minutes demand zone, let us identify high probability trade setup 75 minutes demand zones based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lesson 27. So first filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. By enabling the filter, out of 13, we got 9 stocks. In all 9 stocks, 75 minutes demand zone overlapped with the daily demand zone. And daily trend is uptrend in all the stocks, ITF trend. So let's further filter with EMA confluence and daily time frame. Daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 2 stocks. So these two 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. First one is already enabled. Next 75 and weekly, daily and weekly demand zone confluence. By setting all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, 75 minutes demand zones overlapped with the daily demand zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is up in only 2 stocks. Let's verify those 2 stocks. Any weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So none of the stocks are having. So this is bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Bullish or bearish, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ. Minimum order hands score 12. And 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 5 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. Out of these 5 75 minute supply zones, there could be some high probability trade setup supported zone 75-minute supply zones might be available. We need to filter them based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lesson 27. So first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter, applying on the 5 stocks. We got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, 75-minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is a downtrend in all the 4. Let's further filter based on EMA confluence and daily supply zone. Now list is come down to 2 stocks. So these two daily supplies, these two 75-minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. Removing ITF EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. First one is 75 and daily. Next 75 and weekly. Daily and weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only one stock. This 75-minute supply zone overlapped with daily supply zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. Weekly trend is downtrend, so let us check if this stock is having weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence. So it is not having weekly EMA confluence. Okay, this is a bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, we will generate daily income trade reports. Daily income trade sideways long, entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone. Bullish or bearish or sideways at 15 minutes. I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum order enhance score 11. And 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So with these filters, we got 9 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. Sideways long trade setup for daily income trade. Next, sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. The changes are 15 minute supply zone and also sideways short. Let's filter. We got 5 stocks supporting sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15 minute supply zones. Okay, next, bullish trade setup for daily income trade. The changes are 15 minutes demand zone. Here bullish and minimum order enhance score 12. Let's filter. We got 10 stocks. Bullish trade setup for daily income trade and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zone. So total we got 10-15 minutes demand zones. Out of these 10, let us identify high probability trade setup 15 minutes demand zones based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So the first filter LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, that is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. By enabling the filter, now we got 9 stocks. In all the 9 stocks, the 15 minutes demand zones overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Okay, and the 75 minutes trend is uptrend in all the stocks. Let's further filter based on EMA confluence. At 75 minutes, demand zone having daily EMA confluence, we are checking. So 3 stocks are filtered. That way these three 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next let's filter based on the next strategy, LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, three filters we have to set. First one is already enabled. Next 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. With all the three filters, we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. And daily trend is up in only 2 stocks. So let's further filter on these 2 stocks based on EMA confluence. At a daily time frame by checking daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence. And also trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So one stock is filtered. This 15 minutes demand zone for daily income trade. Excuse me. Okay, next bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Here bullish or bearish, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd and enhancer score 12, and also 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 16 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list, supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zone. So total we got 16 stocks. So first 15 in the list, scrolling the list down, total 16. Out of these 16 supply zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence, that is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. By applying the filter on the 16 stocks, we got 13 stocks. In all the 13 stocks, 15 minute supply zone overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. And 75 minutes trend is a downtrend in all the stocks, ITF trend. So we can further filter based on EMA confluence on 75 minute supply zone. So 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence, we got 4 stocks. So these 4 15 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. I am going back, removing EMA filter. Supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. Next 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 7 stocks. In these 7 stocks, these 15 minutes supply zones, not demand zones, supply zones. These 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone, both together again overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is down in only 2 stocks. Let's verify. In those 2 stocks, any daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. Daily supply zone with daily EMA. At the same time, trend on the daily should not be sideways. It can be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So one stock is filtered. That way, this 15-minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. So this is a bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, I will generate hourly income trade report. For hourly income trade, entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, here bullish, bearish, sideways at 5 minutes I am selecting, sideways long, zone achievement, violated opposing zone, minimum order enhances score 11, and 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 5 minutes, I'm setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 7 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for hourly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zones. Okay, next sideways short trade setup. Changes are 5 minutes supply zone and here sideways short. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. Okay, next, bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. The changes are 5 minutes demand zone, here bullish, and one more change, minimum order enhances score should be 12. Let's filter. We got only one stock. Let's verify this demand zone having any high probability to get success. So I'm checking 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. Good. And 15 minutes trend is uptrend. So I'm checking EMA confluence on 15 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. So that is not having any high probability. So next I will verify, removing EMA filter, verify all the 3 time frames zone confluence, 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes. So 3 filters we have to set. With all the 3 filters, it is again filtered. That means this 5 minutes demand zone overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And the 75 minutes trend is, sideways. Sideways trend EMA confluence does not give any advantage. So we don't have any high probability trade setup for bullish trade setup, hourly income trade bullish trade setup. Next, hourly income trade bearish trade setup. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone supply zone, here bullish or bearish, 5 minutes I am selecting bearish, zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhances score 12, and also 5 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 5 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 20 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 5 minutes supply zones. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total we got 20 stocks. Out of these 20, how many 5 minute supply zones are having more high probability to get success? So let's filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence. By enabling the filter on the 20 stocks, we got 15 stocks. In all the 15 stocks, 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. And 15 minutes trend is a downtrend in all the stocks. Let's further filter based on EMA confluence on 15 minute supply zones. 15-minute supply zone with daily EMA Confluence. We got 2 stocks. So these two 5-minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next. LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, let us filter. Removing EMA filter. Supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 5 minutes and 75 minutes. Next 15 minutes and 75 minutes. With all the 3 filters, we got 10 stocks. In all the 10 stocks, these 5-minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minutes supply zone. Again, both together overlapped with 75 minutes supply zone. And 75 minutes trend is down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stocks. Out of 10, these 5 stocks, let us further verify based on 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA, and also trend on the 75 minutes should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So 2 stocks are filtered. That way these two 15-minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. So this is about hourly income trade. We have completed the reports for all the income trades. Next, I will generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for all the time frames except daily and 75 minutes because they are already generated in the beginning of the report. So starting with the yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly demand zone, we got 3 stocks. Next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone, we don't have any stocks. Next, half yearly time frame, stocks near half yearly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near half yearly supply zone, also no stocks. Price closed inside the half yearly demand zone, we got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near to the quarterly demand zone, we got 3 stocks. Next, stocks near to the quarterly supply zone, we got 1 stock. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. First 22 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 25 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down trend. Let's filter. We got 13 stocks. Okay, next price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Let us further filter based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. We got 2 stocks. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near to the monthly demand zone, we got 5 stocks. Next, stocks near to the monthly supply zone, we got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 36 stocks are filtered. Let us further filter this list based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, and also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. So first 18 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 20 stocks are filtered. Okay, next price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Total 23 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence, and also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. So 4 stocks are filtered. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Stocks near to the weekly demand zone. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 20 stocks are filtered. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 56 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. Now the list is reduced. First 16 stocks on the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 31 stocks are filtered. Okay, next price closed inside the weekly supply zones. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 31 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, and also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. Now the list is reduced to 12 stocks. So this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame daily already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near to the 125 minutes demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 20 stocks are filtered. Next, stocks near to the 125 minute supply zone. We got 10 stocks. Next time frame 75 minutes already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near to the 25 minutes demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 25 minute supply zone. We got 7 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone. We got 5 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 15 minute supply zone. We got 2 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. So stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone. We got 4 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone. We got first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total we got 16 stocks. So this is about finding the stocks near demand and supply zones. Next, in the final report, I am generating stop buffers based on daily ATR. So first 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I'm scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. After that, you can proceed further. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.